Hi guys. Yes, we are live and waiting. Hi Moin, how are you Moin? कैसे हो मोइन आप? So guys, प्लीज कमेंट में पिंग करें मुझे, बताइए कौन कौन इस फीड को देख रहा है. Moin, please help us to share this feed. In the meantime, waiting for the audience. तो सभी के मन में एक क्वेश्चन आ रहा होगा, इतना लेट लाइव क्यों? तो बेसिकली ये जो लाइव है ये यूके के टाइमिंग के अकॉर्डिंग, वहां पे शायद अभी 6 बजे होंगे. यस सर. हाँ, तो वहां पे अभी 6 बजे होंगे, 6 और 6:30. और आज हम लाइव जो जाने वाले हैं ये डॉक्टर शामली स्मिथ के साथ जाने वाले हैं. शी इज फ्रॉम यूके. So let's start. Welcome to the Rover Vibes Fitness, Wellness and Lifestyle Solution. I am Rahul, your host for some time. I have to go as soon as I can. Okay, I'm not here on this feed for a long time. Hi Gagandeep Kaur. How are you? Please share this feed. So the Rover Vibes is going live with Dr. Shamli Smith. She's from UK. She's a creator to Open to Conceive. She is a happiness coach. She is dentist. She is a dentist. तो आज का जो सेशन होने वाला है ये जर्नी टू पेरेंटहुड, जो कि आप स्क्रीन पे देख भी पा रहे होंगे. तो वेलकम करते हैं. वेलकम टू समारा. प्लीज कम लाइव विद अस. ठीक है.
Hi guys, how are you? And very good to see you. And unfortunately, आज राहुल हमारे साथ ज़्यादा टाइम तक नहीं रहेंगे because he has a session to attend. Yes, so he has a live session, an online session today overseas, and he's just here because he was supposed to be here. So very good to have you. Hi Moin, hi Gagandeep, so good to see you guys. And आज जो है Rover Vibes पे Dr. Chamali Smith, who is a dentist, and she's also a creator to Open to Conceive. from United Kingdom. She's going to join us on the feed today. She's also a happiness coach, and we are going to talk to her about journey to happiness. Sorry, journey to parenthood. So, agar aap, if you have your parents, okay, or if you have your, you're going to be a parent, or if you plan to be a parent in some point of time, so this feed is going to be helpful. और ये एक ऐसी stage है जो आपकी life में once in a lifetime जरूर आती है, right? So it's not about having a child biologically also. Sometimes people adopt also. So again, it all depends on what you are going through. So we are going to talk about certain mental issues. We're also going to talk about what she has to say about these things. Hi, Anu. Good to have you. Anu, please help us share this feed. And before I, get Chamali here on the feed, let me just check who all are there. So Rahul is going to go, as all of you know. Rahul is a fitness coach, and at this hour he has to take a session. So
Yes.
Rahul, you can leave. I think it's time for you to.
11:45.
Yes,
Already
it's-
11:45. Thank you so much, guys.
And-
I'm coming live soon.
Yes, we are going to be coming live soon.
Stay tuned.
Yes, and I'm going to take over. So we do not have any co-host today. I am your host, Samara, and I'm a tarot card reader, spiritual healer, and life trainer. And today we have Chamali Smith, and we're introducing her on the feed. Here she is.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Hi, Samara. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much, you and Rahul, for such a lovely introduction. That was really beautiful. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you all.
Thank you so much, Chamali, and it was so good to have you that you took time out from your busy schedule and you came here to share inspiring stories from your life and what the things that you do. Okay. So I would like you to, first of all, in your own words, I've already introduced you. So we would like you to introduce us, to the rest of the world who's watching us. Please.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for staying up so late to see me. I really appreciate it. And for those of you catching the replay as well, a big welcome. My name's Chamali Smith. I set up Open to Conceive as an Instagram page about 6 months ago. As Samara and Rahul said, my background is in healthcare. I work as a dentist, but I'm currently going through fertility challenges. And as Samara said, my journey to parenthood is still uncertain itself. So I wanted
She's
somewhere
out of
where I
feed.
could be together.
Chamali, we cannot see you.
Oh, okay.
The screen is
better? You let me know when I'm back. And let me know where I was up to.
Back.
You're frozen there for me. Hello, everyone. We'll just wait till Samara logs back on. The beauty of doing the live feed is that if one of us ends up having to time out, then the other one can take over. So
yes, yeah.
It works very well.
Mm-hmm. I missed your introduction actually. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I went off because you went off for me and then I went off for you.
Well, listen, I'll start again, but I'll keep it more succinct. You've already said so many lovely things about me. The main things to know are, in terms of Open to Conceive, I set it up as an Instagram page 6 months ago to help with my own journey to parenthood. And I'm establishing a coaching practice, working with people who are also going through fertility challenges. And it's not with the aim necessarily of, say, getting them pregnant or getting them towards adoption. It's more about helping them achieve happiness and peace where they are at the moment, at that moment in time. I've got a tarot analogy that I can share with you very briefly if I have time, because we'll touch on this, but I feel like so much of our fertility journey is like the Five of Cups, where you see that lady there and she's just in despair. She's got 3 cups in the water, when she's turned her back from the 2 that are upright behind her. And that, we'll talk about it more later, but that to me is so much of what fertility challenges are about. And even just one step up to 6 of Cups. Oh, there you are. The 6 of Cups, where you see this picture of generosity and blossoming and nostalgia and children and happiness, friendship, love. That's where we're aiming to get to, and that's my practice in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I feel that, when you were talking about tarot, I feel that, from Five of Cups to the Six of Cups is a journey. When we talk about the Suite of Cups, yeah. So, even if we study tarot theoretically, that is what it means. That, you're at a particular place in life, and five again is the number of change, which is of the transformation. So you help them transform, get into the Six of Cups, which is bliss. I think that's how we can put this across in the terms of tarot. And I really loved this description that you told me, because tarot is very close to my heart.
Me too, Samara. I think the tarot is such a gorgeous tool, and actually it's a big part of my coaching practice as well. I just think it's a gorgeous way to be let into insights of how to uniquely help somebody at that individual time. So I love it. And as you said, the five of a conflict, and like you said, that need to transform, that need to evolve, that's crucial on this journey.
Right. So that was about, I heard that you opened, you created Open to Conceive, this page on Instagram that you're handling, I think 6 months ago. And I'm, kind of assuming it was during the lockdown, during that period. Yeah.
Yes.
So, to over here into medical school, I would like to know it all. For the people over here, I would also like to tell them that, Chamali is from Sri Lanka, first thing. So she is really close to us when it comes in the terms of geography, right? So we would like to know from you about, all about the Sri Lankan connection, and how UK happened, and how the dentistry happened, and how Open to Conceive finally came into place.
Absolutely, yeah. Firstly, I've never been to India. I would love to come, and I really hope that when I do, I'll look you up sometime. But getting back to your question, I am Sri Lankan. Oh, thank you. I'm Sri Lankan. Both my parents are Sri Lankan, and they came to the UK in the 70s, and I was born in 85 in the UK. But we've lived in a few different countries as well. I've lived in Sri Lanka, so I learned to speak Sinhalese, which is my parents' language. I've lived in Malta, I've lived in Saudi Arabia. But then I grew up near Liverpool in the UK, and I went to medical school and dental school in Liverpool. And it's the reason why I did both degrees was in the UK, we have a speciality called maxillofacial surgery. To progress in that, you have to have both degrees. But I changed my mind and decided to just stick with dentistry, enjoy working office hours. And I really love that side of my life, that work-life balance. And as you mentioned, it was all with a view to eventually starting a family, and sadly that hasn't quite turned out as I hoped at this time. But my husband and I we're working with what we have, and in the meantime, everything that I learn and I put on my page and working with other people is really helpful on my journey as well. So that's about it in a nutshell.
Great. So, could you tell us a little bit more about, how have you been helping people and coaching people when it comes to, coming to that happiness, from, the Five of Cups to the Six of Cups. So I would like to know that part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I am at the very start of my coaching journey, and the conversations that I've had with people, we've designed them to be very short, so not longer than half an hour, and a series of a few of them. And it's really helped us to be able to develop themes through that time, and working with people one on one and getting to know how they tick, and helping them think about things in a different way. That's my gift. I am what I call a creative maverick. So I know it might be a bit arrogant to call myself that, but basically the way I see the world is slightly different to the people around me. And I really like using those little flashes of insight, kind of like like an Ace of Swords sort of moment, those sort of like little bumps of clarity, to
Right.
help me to help people think about things in a different way and look at the same situation but from a different angle, and that often brings so much peace with it and happiness, and also for me helping people build their confidence, because
Mm.
unfortunately every person who goes through a fertility challenge is a person whose self-esteem has been disrupted in some way or another, because infertility affects every part of your life. So
Right.
where I want to work with people is to help start to build that self-esteem and confidence again.
That's beautiful, actually. And, I also feel that, being a coach and being able to help women, especially because, they are the ones who are directly affected. So,
Absolutely.
being able to help them, I think that's a very noble thing that you're doing. And,
Thank
Janvi, I would like that from the work that you're doing with the kind of, the cultural pressures that you feel, that you've seen with women. Could you throw light on that?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, pregnancy, children, childbirth, motherhood, it's just so normal. I mean, we were all born to mothers, we're all children. And so many of us have thought from childhood that we would have our own children, and we just knew that that was part of our future. And then it gets to the point where you think it's going to happen and it doesn't. And that journey could be even a few months, or it could be a few years, or it could be decades, or it might have never happened. And it goes
Right.
against the grain so much, because we see our family, our friends having children, and people walking down the street, and you just think, why isn't that me? And it really causes you to reflect on everything in your life and your self-worth and your deservedness, and what did I do wrong, and if only I had done this. And the thing that I feel is so unique to us as Asian women, and this is why I was so excited to talk to you, Samara, because in the UK this isn't as talked about as it should, but cultural tropes about fertility are so important. They're so ingrained in us because
Hmm.
in Sinhalese culture, definitely, you don't talk about things like fertility struggles, mental illness. It's just not spoken
Right.
about. Like, there's in Sri Lankan culture, a barren woman used to be thought of as bad luck, So, and all these things stick somewhere, and it's all part of that process of reflection about who we actually really are. Are we about what we can produce, or are we about who we are as human beings? And that's a question I would put to anyone watching this who is going through the same situation that I am at the moment.
Right. I feel, people can totally resonate with that because even here in India, when you talk about, being able to, bear a child, if your body is not, let's say, if your body is not ready to bear a child, most of the times, the people who do not have children.
Oh, Samara looks like she's gone off there, but I'm sure she'll be back. And in the meantime, I'd just like to say hi to the people who I can see in the comments. So I can see, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce any names, but hi, Maureen and Kanu and Priya. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us.
Again, we're back.
Yeah,
Did
we're
you
back.
also go off? Yeah. Did you also go
I don't
off? It
think
was just
so.
me.
I don't think so. I think I was here, but yeah, my screen was still up.
No, okay. Are we back?
Um,
Because I can hear your voice breaks.
yeah. I'm here, and I can hear you. Hello?
No, I think I can hear you now.
Okay, brilliant. I think it cut off partway through you talking about in India you can understand about the cultural
The screen
sort
is
of
frozen, and I can hear you.
It looks like your screen's just refreshing at the moment. I'll just take this.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I took the opportunity to have a little sip of
Is that
water
you?
there just while.
That's
Yeah,
me.
I'm here. It does look like your screen's frozen at the moment, though, Samara.
I don't think I can hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. And I can see you, but your screen's frozen.
I can see myself. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see and hear you.
I can.
Looks like. So I don't know if you can see me, but I'm just going to say again how grateful I am to be here and to be that beautiful introduction from Rahul and Samara was lovely. And for those of you who've stayed up so late, I honestly, if it was me, I'd be in bed. So I'm so grateful to you for taking the time to be here. Thank you so much again, and looking forward to picking up
We are back.
Samara. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you. Can't see you yet, but I can hear you. I can see you now. I can hear you. Can't see you yet. I can hear you. Now.
You can.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can hear you.
Just give me a minute. I'm just trying to find my phone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can. It repeated a bit, but I can hear you.
I think you should be able to hear me now.
Yes.
Great.
Yay.
Great. Okay, I think this is better because I have logged on from my phone and we're still in the studio and I don't think there'll be a problem here.
Yeah, definitely. Looks
Great.
really good.
I don't know. I'm so sorry about that. My laptop is giving me problems since the morning. Even when we did the test run, it was showing so. And I can check the comments over here if any. Anyway, I'm so sorry. We were talking about mental health at that point in time when we got disconnected. So I would like. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You just cut out there for a sec. I just got that you said I would like, and then it cut out till yeah. I can see you now and hear you now.
क्या करें वही सोच रही हूँ डायरेक्ट एफ पे कैसे जाऊँ बेटा शी इज नॉट ऑन Facebook. What the hell is happening?
I can see you and hear you from my side.
This is live. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. It was fine until just that last section froze. Until then, it was really good.
Yes, now I can see you and hear you as well. I think there is some problem with StreamYard, which is why it is disconnecting again.
Yeah.
Yes. But the good part is the feed is still going on.
That's brilliant.
Which is why, you know, I sort of like the StreamYard, but this is giving a lot of problems today. So let's hope we don't get cut off. Okay. I know I was at the time I was talking about the Indian culture wherein, you know, a woman is blamed a lot if she's not able to bear a child or if she's not. Yeah. So again, you know, when you talk about cultural pressures over here, I feel that there are pressures even when it comes to you know, having a male child or a female child. You must have read as well about people would not prefer to have a female child. In fact, there are so many cases which may go reported. Some of them go unreported when you know, you kill a female child in the womb. Now, you know, it is blight with so many parents who would like to, you know, so many couples who would like to become a father or a mother, and you know, they cannot bear children, and that there are people who are killing their child in their womb. So I think there are, you know, it's extreme from both the ends. So have you come across or heard something like that?
It's
Or
heartbreaking.
what is your opinion on that? Because I think that is something I would, you know, Indians need to hear.
Of course. And the first thing I want to say is I'm extremely respectful of particularly a culture that is so multicultural, multilingual, has been established for thousands. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me, Samara?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, of course, okay. I can.
Oh, brilliant. That's great. If I get cut off, just please jump in.
I can hear you. Know. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, brilliant.
No problem. I am logged on from 2 devices now.
Okay. I think the first thing I want to say is, as a Sri Lankan and as a British person, I'm not here to sit in judgment of a culture. However, as a person who wants to have a child, and to be honest, I'd be delighted if I had a little girl. It does break my heart that there's so many women who have to go through either abandoning their child or having to resort to abortions for that reason, or however it happens. I'm just it does sadden my heart, and as you said, it's something that I had never thought about before. What a dichotomy between a society where there's this conflict, like you said, where we see female life as expendable on one hand, and yet on the other hand, we're being so censorious of women who are unable to create life. And it just seems really ironic in that sense. And I understand the cultural implications behind things like not being able to provide a dowry. And so I have every sympathy for every family who's been put in that situation. I obviously I wish with all my heart that every child was wanted, every child was planned, every child was welcomed into a loving home. And as we all know, that unfortunately is not the case. And I suppose it's up to every individual to appraise their lives, to be very honest with how they are in terms of how they were brought up and the challenges that they have going forward, and to really do that inner work, to work with somebody like yourself or with Rahul on
Right.
untangling that more, and
Mhm.
figuring out where they start and where their culture ends.
Right, absolutely. I think we are nobody to judge a culture, but of course, when we talk about humanity, or
Of course.
generally, even about children in general, I think it is something of a responsibility that everyone has to make sure that you give a life, and you should also respect the people who are capable of giving a life,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The interesting question that I have when we talk about this journey is that how do you use the tarot? When you talk about the coaching, that is something which I've been dying to ask you.
I'm so happy to talk to you about it, Samara, because I adore the tarot. And where I use it is when I first start to engage with the client before we have our first session. I will draw cards from the tarot and different oracle cards, and it will give me a context of where they are right now and any messages from source passed to them. And then it helps to guide the journey. And
Right.
I record it and I send it to them via messenger so that they have it then to refer to forever, well, as long as they want, really. And it's given people a lot of peace, which I really love. And it's helped to kind of reinforce things that they kind of believed but they weren't sure, so it's been a really lovely way. It comes in right at the start of my practice, and then you kind of can unpack certain messages from the tarot as you progress through the coaching conversation. So it's really cool.
Right. Yeah, of course. In fact, the reason I spoke about tarot is like you were one of the few people who gave me a very, very detailed feedback about my reading. Right.
It was
And
such a beautiful reading, and it really helped me so much, and to be able to listen to your voice as well was really good. And that's why I like doing video readings for my coaching clients as part of the package.
as part of the package. So I would like to know that if somebody would contact you, at what stage would you expect people to contact you? Like when they are point in time, or when it comes to infertility issues, you know? So when do you see your people coming in, getting in touch with you?
Generally, most people have got in touch when they've been facing infertility or when it's been established. But to be honest, if I knew about this,
Hmm.
say 5 years ago, before I was setting myself up for starting a family, I would have it would have been interesting to work with somebody at that stage, because I've had to really do a lot of self work in the last 18 months while I've been going through my infertility journey. And it would be interesting, actually, if somebody is that kind of forward thinking enough to think, actually, I do want to start a family, and I want to use this time to prepare myself, prepare not just things like the medical side through their own doctors and things like that, but also thinking about what's going on with myself. I don't suppose there's not a wrong time to get in touch. I think everyone's journey is so individual, and they will know when the right time is for them. But certainly the vast majority of people I've been connecting with are people on that fertility journey at the moment.
Lovely. Please tell us, what do we have when in the package? As I picture it, the first thing I picture is the tarot, right?
Yes.
What else is the part of the package? So this is something for all the people who are trying to look for a coach, help them get through this time. So what can they expect from you? So I would like to know the
Yes.
details.
Absolutely. Well, for me, I prefer to work with people in short, sharp bursts, so 30-minute sessions. And my preference is to work once a week in 4 weeks in a row. So one session a week for 4 weeks, because I don't believe that my style is best suited to seeing somebody for long, prolonged periods of time. My challenge is to find out as much as I can about my client and then put my little Ace of Swords moments to work and to
Right.
harness the power to help that person at that moment in time, like a snapshot. Because
Mhm.
I also believe that there are so many resources out there. For example, I'm not a therapist, and there are so many
Mhm.
amazing therapists that work with
Right.
people who.
You take
So
the
I
decision.
think it's
You get
also really important that if somebody works with me for a short period of time, I help them get a little bit further along their journey, and then they're then in a better position to think, well, who else could help me, or how can I help myself, or what
Mhm.
resources can I use? So it's all about empowerment for me, and I believe that the way forward is to work with somebody for that period of time, and then they've got that confidence then to take the next steps that they feel are appropriate for them.
Right. Right. I'm sorry. And I would also like to know that, I'm sure when you're coaching someone, how do you feel when you're coaching? Because, your journey is also sort of related. So how do you feel?
It's such a good question because I have actually had to take a break for the last maybe 6 weeks or so because I have had a real severe mental health crisis myself. I've been in a really, really depressive phase, which I am
Mm,
recovering from at the moment. So my energy would not have been appropriate to work with people while I've been looking after myself. But I foresee
mm,
opening up my book within the next few months, and I feel that whenever I'm in a therapy, when I'm sorry, not a therapy session, whenever I'm in a coaching session with somebody I'm working with, I just always feel so happy. I've just got this like big smile on my face all the time. And it's just that one-to-one connection that I find so rewarding, and being able to say something in a way that it resonates with them is so rewarding when you see the light bulb or you get that connection and that person feels heard and they feel validated. That is, I can't
mm.
put that feeling into words. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes. I feel that, happiness grows once you share it. So I think that
Yes, and
happens.
that's 6 of Cups right there. That's exactly what it is. That's sharing happiness. That's exactly what it is. It's contagious.
It is contagious. I would love to know which deck are you using?
It's called the Tarot of the Divine. It's
Okay.
absolutely beautiful.
Lovely.
Let me see if I can just. I know we're going to geek out over tarot, aren't we? Let me just pull out a few more cards. Oh my goodness! Look, Ace of Swords, first card that I
Swords.
pulled. We've been talking about
Wow.
it all this time.
Yes.
That's amazing, isn't it? Um, it's just a stunning deck. I really recommend it. Every picture's based on fairy tales or folklore culture. It's including
Mm-hmm.
some hidden goddesses as well. So it's absolutely beautiful.
Lovely. And in fact, getting the Ace of Swords, I think it's a sign.
I do. I really believe that so strongly. The tarot is just such a beautiful tool when it's used from a place of self reflection and a pure, humble desire to serve other people, putting your ego aside and just thinking, thank you for working through me. Thank you for allowing me to assist other people. And as you can tell from being a doctor in the past and now as a dentist, service is such a big part of my life. Um,
Right.
being of service to people is very important to me, and my life's mission is to serve people through sharing my truth and sharing my story.
Right. I would like to know about the milestones, in the story that you've had. I would like to know about those milestones.
Do you mean in terms of
The,
my coaching practice or just in general, or?
I mean, in terms of both the
Yeah.
wow moments. Yes.
So definitely, firstly, in terms of my coaching practice, I had a beautiful client who I just felt so connected to. It's like we just had this connection where she had such a high degree of personal accountability. She was so willing to look at things, and she was at that stage where she was just so empowered and confident within herself that every conversation just felt like it flowed and it was beautiful. And I had an aha moment when I connected to her using something that was very personal to her, using a medium that was very connected to who she is. And it felt, you could really feel the energy coming from that medium as well. And it was just, that was a huge aha moment. It really reinforced that I really need to get to know the people that I work with. And I also
Right.
need to be careful to pick the people who I feel I can help, because it just depends on where we are at the time. It's about finding the right fit. And that's a definite aha moment for me. Um,
Right.
and also, in terms of my journey so far, I've had depression at least 4 times in my life, including at the moment I'm a suicide survivor, and it's really important, I believe, especially me as a Sri Lankan, to talk about mental illness, because it's something that we never spoke about in my family, and it's really important to be honest about the fact that our feelings have to be felt, and there's not such a thing as good feelings or bad feelings. It's all just feelings,
Yes,
and they're all to
absolutely.
be honored. And that's like my other really big milestone. It's I'm so much better at feeling my feelings now. That's like a huge personal success story for me. And I really
Right.
believe that helped in my recovery from this current episode of depression, because I've noticed that my self-work has really helped my insight, and it's really helped my resilience.
Right. I also feel that, when you talk about, people don't generally talk about it when it comes to depression, stress, anxiety, all of these things, people don't really talk about them.
Yeah.
People, um, you know, it's more like, they don't want to pay attention to it as if it does not exist. But I feel that
Yeah.
it is a big, big challenge, and mental
Yeah.
health has to be spoken about. And I think now, lately, we are looking at the world, and there are, because of the COVID and the incidents related to it, now these things are coming up a lot, and people are getting themselves aware that these are normal situations which can be talked about. It is an illness like any other illness. It's just that you cannot see, but you
Absolutely.
can feel. So I
Absolutely.
think, hmm, so I would like to know about the fact that, how would you put it across, if there is one advice that you would have to give to anyone, any woman who's trying to conceive, right? And she's facing the challenges. What is the one advice that you would like to give? The numero uno.
Number one, you are
Yes.
whole and perfect and complete as you are right now. Your worth is not determined by your ability to create and grow and give birth to another human, or by the job that you have, or the person you marry, or the car you drive, or the house you live in, or the amount of
Right.
servants you have, or anything like that. It's about you. You are a human being. You are perfect. There is nobody
Right.
like you in the whole world. You're here for a reason, and that reason is unfolding. We haven't yet determined what that is. Where there's life, there's hope. I know how hard it is. I have been to rock bottom. I just want you to know that it can and will get better with the right support and the willingness to seek and receive that support. It will get better. I'm not necessarily saying that you get to a stage where you're suicidal or depressed to the point where I was a
Hmm.
few months ago. Even it will
Right.
be anywhere. It could be anxiety, it could be depression, it could be any feeling that you're having. Please understand that that's completely normal, completely understandable, given that you're going through one of the worst things a human ever has to go through. They say that the stress of infertility is similar to the stress of receiving a diagnosis of cancer or HIV. And when you put it in that context, it makes everything very understandable. Please understand that you're worthy and you're whole and you're perfect as you are. That's my number one message.
That's so beautifully put across and beautifully crafted. And I hope, the women over here should, take some insight to it and get something out of this. And there's a lot to get inspired from. One question which, we have not paid attention to right now, which would be my last one, is about the men.
Yes.
I think we'll always talk about women because they are, facing this directly, but we never talk about the man, what he is going through. So what would be your advice to the man?
It's so important. I'm so glad you brought it up, Samara, because there's in a couple bringing a child into the world, it's more often than not, it's a partnership between a woman and a man, sometimes same-sex relationships, but certainly in a dynamic between a woman and a man, you're 50% of that role. This affects you because it's not just about your ability to have a child that's been compromised, regardless of whoever requires the medical attention. It's also about the dreams that you have of being with your partner and having that family. So it's so important to find time to be able to express your feelings in a safe place and to be supported individually, as well as then being able to support your partner as appropriate. Because my husband, particularly when I was going through my very low points, he had to be there to support me. But I asked him, who's supporting him? That is so important. This is something that affects the two of you, but you experience it differently. And it's really important, again, to find that time where you can be heard and validated, because you deserve that. You really, really do. And it's not self-indulgent. It's really important that you get the support you need, because this is affecting you too. Please reach out and do that. It will help everything. It will help your relationship with your partner, but more importantly than that, it will really help your own well-being.
Right, absolutely. And I think that, we cannot forget, the other gender which is involved as well. And, it is good that you all brought it up. You brought it up, the same sex relationship as well, when there are couples, and, everything is something that should be very normal to speak about. And more so when it comes to giving another life. And I think these things should be considered, and, help should be sought. And one should speak up if they need help. If you need help, you need to ask. Right. So with that in mind, I would like you to tell us if people would like to reach you for a life coaching session, where can they do so?
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm clearly going to have to take the time difference into consideration, aren't I? Seeing as you're about, what is it, 5.5 hours ahead or something? But obviously, through my Instagram page, Open to Conceive is the best place to reach me. And you can, that's the best place to reach me at the moment. I can also pass on to you my email address as well, which is opentoconceive@gmail.com. But generally, Instagram's the best way to get hold of me, because I check that fairly regularly.
So I mentioned the link for Instagram, and Open to Conceive at Gmail.
Yes, opentoconceive@gmail.com. But like I said, I check my Instagram more often than not. So that's definitely the better way to get hold of me if you do have an Instagram account. And my page is really worth following, because I share lots of things that inspire me, lots of different things. And even if you're not going through a fertility journey at the moment, there's still lots of things there that are really applicable to just life in general. So I really recommend checking it out.
Yes, definitely. And if you would like to reach out to her, you can do so on Instagram. Like she said, it is at Open to Conceive, or opentoconceive@gmail.com, where you can write to her. And if you are, a little lazy, if you're following the Rover Vibes, the Rover Vibes is following her. So you can find out, because we are following about 20 people, and she's one of those people, one of the special ones. that we are following, so you can also reach out to her over there. So it's very easy to find her then.
Oh,
Right.
I'm honored. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And Chamali, it was really nice to have you. I'm very sorry for all the hiccups in between with the network, but now I'm working with my phone, so it is pretty fine.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely. Samara, oh, thank you both. Thank you and Rahul so much for this. I've really loved it. I've loved being with you guys. Thank you all so much for staying up this late and for catching the replay as well. It's truly appreciated, and I'd love to do
Yes.
this again. I've really, really enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely we will do so, and I will send a copy of the link to you very soon.
Oh yes, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chamali. We are going to cut the feed off, and we're going to see you soon.
All the best. Take care, everybody.
See you. Bye.
Bye.